Hi everyone, I'm Logan from the Unrefusables. Going to be going over conditional orders and how to set up trades before the trade day so that during the trade day you're prepared, you can execute properly, and you don't need to be scrambling around looking for things, how to set in the conditional orders. You can have orders here ready. You can change them how you need to, submit them when you need to, and also if you want to automate your trades a little bit, say you're a whale, you're out in Turks and Caicos trying to enjoy your lunch on the beach, you don't get them greasy, oily hands, sunscreened out of your mind trying to mobile trade, right? You want to have a good time, set up some orders. Your margins aren't going to be as great if you're not able to modify your limit orders on options that are condition based, but still making money is better than not, right? If you're not making money, you're losing money. So let's go ahead and take a look at how to do this. We're going to use an actual example here in DraftKings. Let's take a look at the chart, see how we're going to set this up. Again, we buy support, sell resistance. This can be basically a yes-no trade at open. We got price at 60.28. We get a level at 60.36, around thereabouts. If we're above that level, it's going to be support. We're going to be looking to buy. What are we looking to buy? Probably some April 60 monthlies, right? At the monies. It's pretty straightforward. We buy on top of the level and get stopped below. So you're going to put your limit buy above and your stop below, and that's about it, right? Now, what about over here? Well, here's a good example of where if you have you have a trade already set up, you don't need to even think about it. You might miss it, right? Something like this happens where the market pulled back here 2 days ago. You can have an order set in there so that you're buying on this dip down on the support, and then you're getting stopped below if it continued, right? So you don't know if it's going to continue or not. There's a pretty strong support. You look at this chart, it's pretty damn strong support here at 52.60. I want to be a player down here, try to get filled. Do I care if I lose, 1% here? Not really. Pretty okay with it for the reward here, risk reward, buying on support. That's what it's all about. So let's say you were in Turks and Caicos on the beach, you got that limit order down there. You come back after a nice little sun, a couple drinks, and you look and you're doing pretty good. So let's look how to set this up here. First of all, on Mosaic, you cannot set up conditional orders. You want to set up orders before the market opens? No problem. You can set them up in here. It won't be conditional based, but you can put in your limit orders on your options. No big deal. All you do is you right click and click pause, and it will look just like this, right? I have the submit button here. You can submit it if you want. Submit it if you want. Here's the pause button, okay? So first of all, you want to set up conditional orders. You got to go up here, File, Open Classic TWS. You cannot do it in here in Mosaic. This will open up the layout down here. Classic TWS looks like this table here. Looks like you're, real something with your table. Again, this is just like on the list view. You've got the tickers. You can one click trade through here to set up the order. I've already got the orders in here. I'm going to show you how to set these up specifically. This order here is specifically that one at that 60.36 level. This is just buying a limit. This is buying the April monthly 60s rate where price is right now. Look at the bid and the ask. 655 at the bid. Ask at 670. Again, you're going to be modifying this most likely at the open. In terms of what the price is here, you're going to be splitting that spread. Again, if it's opening on that level, you're going to have buyers below you. In terms of how to set that up, you're going to be fine. It's a 15-cent spread. You're going to be pretty okay, right? You're going to be okay. You put in your patient adaptive IB algo, and you're going to get filled whatever you're looking to do, right? Now, this is, again, just for one call. You're not going to be picking up much. Look at the bid. Look at the ask. You're going to have to be going over multiple if you're trying to put a big order in, but this is, again, just for one order here. So how do we do this? You're going to click on the buy. You click the ask. Now, depending on your presets, it's going to open up with more. I'm just going to show you how to look on your screen. So it pops up with the buy, quantity 1. It's going to put the limit to the ask, right? So set this up how you want. Again, it's going to set to the preset in terms of what type of order. Got adaptive limit. I got the patient setting on. Again, this should be fine just about for every order. There are cases, but again, we've talked about some of those ideas. I would stick with this setup here. So in terms of how to set up the conditional, you're going to right click on your order. So again, this is just limit buying for the option. It has nothing to do with the underlying. You want it to get tied to the underlying, go to modify, click order ticket. If condition, you've already set up a condition, the condition button will be there. Otherwise, you click order ticket, and you'll have to click this button here. And then it'll allow you to click conditional, and it will open up this tab and add it for future use. Here's the conditional tab. To add any condition, you can click the add button here. Price, we want it to be tied to price, perfect. Underlying, well, this is for DraftKings, so straightforward, add in DraftKings, right? So yada yada yada. Method, okay, method is set to default. This is just the method to get triggered. This is going to default to double bid ask method, which just means you need 2 consecutive ask or bid prices that fulfill the trigger, which would be, in this case, 60-36 that we're going to set up. So you need 2 consecutive prices, with the second being more. Or if it's the same price, it would need to be a greater size. Straightforward stuff. This way you don't get sort of, you don't get triggered on something that wasn't actually going to happen, right? There's more than one person involved, more than one trade involved. Okay, 60-36 is our level. Operator, greater than or less than, straightforward, greater than 60-36. So the condition is, I need DraftKings, the underlying, to be greater than 60-36 for you to go send this order, for you to send the order. That's the process. For you to send the order, that condition needs to be met. You're going to click accept. The order is going to look the exact same, and now it's there. Again, until you click the transmit button, it's not going to go. So again, this is just there. It's prep for the morning. Now, that's one step of it. Again, you can modify this how you wish. Attach, okay, let's put a stop in there. A stop, first of all, you can't have an adaptive stop in here. You want to go put the stop in. That's going to be a market order. Where do we want this stop? Well, in terms of where this is going to be, let's put in just the bid price here, right? Now, do you need to go put a conditional order in for the option price here? No, you don't need to go condition it, and first of all, you can't do that anyway. You would need to do it on the other side. So go ahead, put the stop in. Let's say the bid price here, because again, you're not going to get filled. If it's above where it is right now, people are not going to be paying less for it, because that would be counterintuitive. So we'll put the stop at the bid price here just for now. Again, you can modify it at open. Maybe you put it a few points down, 650, whatever it is. Again, it's going to be dependent on the actual trade. In terms of DraftKings here, I think that this is an okay setup. In terms of the level, it could become anything. It could become anything. You can see down here, I get 656. These are all fine. These are all fine. And so this is to put that order. Now let's say you want to attach a take profit, right? So again, attach, limit, take profit. This is just further automation. Again, you got the order in there. You don't need to actually do it. Where do you want to be selling? Well, let's take a look at the actual DraftKings chart. Maybe up into this. Maybe up into here you want to be selling, maybe some supply in here. Maybe you want to transition where you take profit and then add another order. We're going to look at that in a second. But again, in terms of how you do it, it's completely up to you. In terms of this order down here, let me show you. Down here, I've got the 675 buy condition to the level. I've got a take profit at 820 on the contracts, which equals, I'm going to show you on the chart in a second, which equals that high. And then I got the stop here. Let's look at it on the chart. So you can see the orders within here. So the orders we're talking about are these lines up in here. You can see the take profit at 820, the buy at 675, which is the limit, so anything below and the stop right below. Now what are these orders down here? What did you see over here? These are orders for that support. This 320 buy, if you go in here and we take a look, right, we take a look in here, you're going to see the conditional. I have it towards that level of support. Now take a look at how I did this here. So if you see default price of DraftKings stock is less than 53.15. Let's go take a look at the actual chart here. So you want to get a conditional order to buy on this support. How are you going to do it? It can either be that it equals 52.60. Well, first of all, are you going to get filled? It's going to trigger your order when it equals 52.60. Well, that's not going to work. You need to be getting an order sent to the exchange before that, because it's not always going to reach that, right? It's going to basically hit that and then whip, right? We go take a look at the 15-minute. That thing is going to whip on it, and you got to get filled in there. So what I did is I put the order in at 53.15, which is about 1% from the support, so that once it passes that price, it sends the order. It sends the order to the exchange to go buy me some calls down there. How do you know the limit price on the option down here? Well, you really don't, other than the fact that from a historical view, here's where the price was. So if you go take a look at the chart, here's the DraftKings April monthly 60 calls. Here's the candle from that day on the 23rd here. See this candle through here? It came down to $3 at a low. It's only been 2 days, so the price is going to be pretty similar. The only difference is that it could be a little bit lower since it's lost some tempo now if it pulls back down. So putting this order in here, this condition is that it needs to, on the underlying here, it needs to go past 53.15 before it sends this order to buy the April monthly 60s at a limit of 320. You can see it there, right? The 320 buy. That is the limit. It needs to fulfill that first, right? It needs to fulfill that first before it sends this order to buy. The stop, well, I went ahead and put the stop right under $3, which was the low before. Again, this can be manipulated once you're already in the trade. You can change the stop price. But so you can see what I've done is that this order is in there in case of that happening, right? Let's say it opened DraftKings actually opens below and starts to sell like it did here, right? You didn't know that this was going to happen coming on this day. On this day, you got to pull back into that level and you put your orders in to go bid. Instead, the market had a different plan. And instead of getting the fill here, you get filled down here if you had this order sent in there already, right? Sometimes, yeah, you're going to be buying. It hits that and it triggers your buy, and you're buying like 1% above support. Sometimes it doesn't bounce on support and you get stopped out immediately after, right? Sometimes that's going to happen. That's if you're automated. If you're actually at your damn desk and you're watching and trading, of course you're looking for price to bounce on the support to buy it, right? You know, I talk about sometimes you want to be preempting the move into support if it's a strong support, but you're watching price tighten, and then as that tightens and you see that's going to the bid side, you're buying, right, to go get that, and you're pushing it, right, and then you're putting the stop at that break even or below the support, right? But this is, again, for the conditional side, and just putting the orders in before, so that when you're watching it during the day and you see price pulling back, you've got the order there, right? Let's go over to the view. You get the order there, you're watching things, you got the order here, and you go ahead and submit it. You see that it's happening, submit it. That's if it's coming down into here, right? Again, it won't be triggered unless the underlying goes below that conditional order, but it's there, right? Now, also in terms of submitting orders, you can do this on the chart view. So you get those orders in from the night before, the morning before. You got them on your chart here in terms of lines. What you can do is actually, you see this cursor as you go over it, you can actually drag these on the chart. So those of you that want to be actively managing a trade, right? This is just, you've got the order in there. This is so that you've got the order there, and you can then manage it on the trade as well. Makes it a little bit easier. You don't need to submit all of them. You've already got it there so that during that moment, you can change it, be a little bit quicker. Maybe your stop's a little screwed up. You can move that accordingly. Maybe you want to move your take profit. It's when you move the center one, the actual buy, it will actually move both of them in relation. This becomes, you know, very helpful if you've got different orders in there and it's at different levels and prices changing quickly. And again, if you have it conditional based, it's not going to trigger the other order, right? So let's say price is actually down here. It's not going to trigger this order if you've got it, you know, you're not going to be buying at 676 if the market price is at 3.5 if you've got it conditional based, right? So you don't need to worry about that getting triggered at any time, right? And what this allows as well is when you're moving price here, let's say you get filled down here, what you can actually do from here is, let's say you take profit, let's say you want to take profit up in here, you take profit, and then you get triggered on this new buy, and now you buy, and you've got to stop below you in case price reverses, but you can also continue. It's sort of like that transition idea, that climbing a ladder. Now, I want to mention to submit on the chart view, what you can do is click this T button. That means transmit, and it will go ahead and place it in there. You can see how that's placed now, right? That's now placed. Guess what? You can do it even when the order's in there. You just got to retransmit it. It's going to automatically do it, but the point being that as you change this, it's a new order. You can see how I moved it too far out. It's going to exceed it. Again, but just to show you that it actually changes the order. It's a completely new order. It's actually a completely new order when you do that. This is where you've got some, you know, there's some different ideas here in terms of when you're placing in an order. If you're using the adaptive, it's splitting. Just to make like a quick comment, so if you've got the orders in here the night before, but you see it at open that you're actually be opening a little higher. So let's say you raise your limit, you lower your limit. You see price can open a little lower, so you lower it. But as you're watching bids, you know, whatever you're watching it on your screen, you see that it's creeping up. IB's not getting you filled, right? And you see that the price is increasing. You can start to increase that limit a little bit, allow IB to get some wiggle room, right? If you don't have it right at the ask price, say you went to the bid ask mid price, right? You can go ahead and start to raise that order. If this is the chart you're looking at, you go ahead and just just do it right here on the chart. It's pretty quick. It moves everything for you. You don't need to go change all the orders, however you want to do it, but this is an interesting way to look at it and set it up as well, right? So I hope that helps. Of course, there's more complex orders you can do in terms of conditions and everything else. You can put many more orders in there, and it really just comes up to your own commitment and how much preparation you want to do before the trading day. At the end of the day, it comes down to being able to execute those trades, knowing what to trade, following rules, not changing up the game every single day, right? So if it helps you to put those orders in and not to break what you have for an idea there, then do it. If you don't need automation, you're not making that many trades, then you shouldn't, because it's going to affect your margins. So don't try to make something more complex when you don't need to, right? Keep it simple. Keep your rules in mind, and don't overcomplicate things when it's a clear goal, especially when your order is a yes or no trade. Am I above my level? Yes. Okay, I'm going to buy. You don't need to go get crazy on what you need to be doing there. Just get me filled, and then know when you need to be getting out of that position. Push it to as far as you can. Push your winnings, right? Those are your simple things. But in terms of IB, that's all you need to know. Hope that helps. If you get questions, let me know. I'll talk to you guys in chat.